Okay, should be good. But here we go. Whew, here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Representing his new team, representing Twisted Minds, it is herO. I'll fix up his name. Este herO. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3. Here we go. Just catching up the chat. Let's see if SHIN can give herO a good series. herO is just such a beast at the moment. I agree. I think right now I'm comfortable in saying that herO is the best Protoss in the world. I think for most of the year you can make an argument for Max Packs as well. As I mean, I would still say the top 2, Max Packs and herO. But over the past month, I want to say that herO has been getting even more impressive results over the past month specifically. I mean, again, has been solid the entire year, but it does feel like he's definitely peaking right now. I would say he's definitely peaking in skill, and he's a terrifying player. I'm excited to see how he does in GSL. I would not be surprised if he even wins GSL, to be honest. Like there's an argument to be made that right now herO is looking better than Maru when it comes to the Koreans. So we'll see. we'll see. I'm looking forward to the matchup. I'm looking forward to how GSL does unfold. Don't get me wrong. Until then, though, SHIN has also been slumping a little bit. Ooh, nice snipe on the probe. But SHIN, he has been slumping a little bit in recent times. We spoke about this during the podcast. For those that are unaware, for those that didn't watch the GSL qualifiers, which we covered, it's a little bit bittersweet, but SHIN did fail to qualify for GSL, unfortunately. There's a couple of key players like SHIN, Zound didn't qualify, Creator didn't qualify, Bunny didn't qualify. There were a couple of key players that failed to qualify, and SHIN is one of them. And it was very heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking seeing SHIN not make it into GSL. So he's been having a bit of a harder time recently. He's still an amazing player, but it's one of those things where it's all about how informed you are on the day, right? That's the reality here, right? Like when it comes to events like that, when it comes to qualifiers like that, you can be great, you can be strong, but if you're a little bit off on the day, then that can cost you a qualifying spot, that can cost you placement in GSL. Here we go. SHIN qualifying as well. Yeah, it also shows just how brutal it can be, like how brutal GSL is, especially because it's only 12 players, so there's even less opportunity, even less chance to be a part of that and be in GSL. See some of the chat predictions. They've already closed. Predictions, they were open. They were open. You gotta get to Gamba going while you can, back. Aye. But now they're double adept in towards the bases. Stargate opener out of herO. So herO going for a standard normal opener. Este password. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. As the oracles, they do threaten the bases. Oh, so far SHIN does pull away. SHIN does pull away here. Adepts, they threaten to shade into the mineral line. SHIN, he's keeping up. So far as keeping up, he is zoning. herO looking for a way and does find a drone. He gets 1. He gets 2. Up 3 even. 3 drones go down, and likewise second oracle goes in to clean up, getting a 4th and a 5th drone. Oh my god, herO does overextend though. Getting a little bit too frisky, a little bit too cavalier there. He does get 5 drones, which is solid, but he will lose an oracle in the process. Suddenly not as worth of a herO. Lings a counterattack. Adepts are in position. Adepts are ready. herO does deflect, but there was a bit of a give and take here. Good damage, but lost the oracle. Behind this we have a Forge and Twilight Council, +1 and Blink on the horizon here for herO. Standard follow-up out of our Protoss player. Meanwhile, double oracle moving in. We'll see if herO does replace the oracle that he lost. Again, losing an oracle is huge when it comes to the mid-game. Oracles, they play a massive part, not just harassing, but also supporting the main army as well. Oracle heads into the main. SHIN is keeping up. SHIN will zone. SHIN will deflect. Likewise, collapsing lead ups. Oh, but again, there is plenty of support here with these oracles. But there's only 2 of them. As herO does threaten a dive. Going for the 4th base. Can he force a cancel? How will he threaten? Likewise, Stalkers wandering in. A bit of a misrally here. The Stalkers, they're going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, 2 Stalkers thrown away. Oracles, they get 3 drone kills in the main. But not quite worth the losses. And again, here just getting a little bit too excited. Another Oracle goes down. Once again, the positioning out of SHIN, though. He was off of creep. He was ready for the catch. And he does catch another Oracle. Nicely done here by SHIN. Takes down a 2nd Oracle. So we do have a back and forth. 1 Oracle remaining. Now, I mentioned this earlier, and just to re-emphasize, or just to explain, the real strength here, what we're building up towards, is that blink timing, right? Blink and +1. And as you've seen so far with the interplay between the Adepts and the Oracles, they do such a great job at protecting ground units from Ling surrounds. Like you saw time and time again, SHIN, he attempted to surround these Adepts, but he couldn't. He couldn't quite contain or couldn't quite commit because of the Oracles keeping them protected from above. But now 2 Oracles have already gone down, and that means the ground army is that much weaker for herO. And these Lings, they can wreak more havoc. Shield battery's not done. Another Stalker goes down. SHIN, he punishes. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 Stalkers falling. Brutal pickups. Oracle's racing back home, but remember, now there's only 1 Oracle. At the same time, Adepts station into the mineral line. Roaches are in position. Boys being pulled. Oh, another 5, 6 drones go down. Not the best decision there to pull the boys. 7 drone kills. That is brutal. Over the course of this game, 15 drones. That is an entire mineral line. Ay, ay, ay. So there have been some nice pickoffs here from SHIN, but at the same time has been bleeding out a lot of drones. SHIN, he has to re-drone. He has to resaturate. Oh, we're going for the all-in. Never mind. Never mind. We're not joining up. We're cutting workers at 65. 65, that is 3 base saturation. That is 3 bases. The 4th base only for Larva. We have Overlord Speed on the way. We have Drop Lords on the way. And we are going for 1 massive all-in. What are we going for? Time to load up into the German taxi. The German taxi is upon us. It's going to be Queens, Roaches, and Lings. A couple of Ravagers mixed in as well. And herO, what's he doing? herO investing in a 4th base. herO investing in double upgrades as well. We're going into charge. He's not taking up too hard here. There is no storm, but it's purely a gateway army. Honestly, SHIN, he can pull this off. He can pull this off. He can break herO. Comes down to the execution. Archons are morphing in. That will help in the defense. But remember, only 1 Oracle, only 0 shield batteries at the Jesus. 0 shield batteries. Just 1 cannon. And here he comes, Queens, they drop off. Likewise, Stage Trap will not connect. Yeah, another Oracle goes down, and the final Oracle almost falls as well. And SHIN has done it. SHIN has done it. He has punished herO. Busts down the cannon, breaks the expansion. Stalker's going to be forced back. Boys will be trying to be pulled away. But again, herO, he let out too much before this. The Stalkers, the Oracles. And without those additional Oracles as well, it wasn't just about supporting the army, he also failed to scout. He wasn't able to scout, he was not able to confirm what was going on because of the lack of Oracles as well. Biles, they connect, and SHIN, he breaks a 3rd. He breaks a 3rd, he breaks herO. herO's trying to hold on to the natural at least, but the 3rd base has no saving it. No shot. SHIN will knock it down. 26 probes as well. Ooh. Even forced back by the Roach Ravager. Queens, they can start to waddle back as well. They're spreading creep. And here he's being cornered. There's no way out of this, actually. There's no way out. No, get out of here. Again, there's no way out of that little alcove. As more Stalkers go down, the Queens are trying to get out of this, but they're going to be hunted down by the Zealots. Likewise, looks like, yeah, SHIN, he has found the 4th base. He has found the expansion. Behind this, and now SHIN is droning up to 74, getting into Hydra production, getting into Infestation Pit, into Hive Tech as well. And again, SHIN technically didn't kill herO, but he did maim him, he did cripple him, and SHIN is just gearing up for the next wave, this time with Hydras, this time with some anti-air. This time more efficient army. From the side of herO, there's nothing here. There's no Storm, there's no Colossus, no Disruptors, there's some Zealots, some Stalkers, and an Archon. 3 Archons, to be fair. but Shin can pick and choose. He could go for the 4th, or he could ignore it. He could ignore the 4th base and just go straight for the natural instead. What do I see? I see a cannon and a shield battery at the 4th. I see no side defense at the natural. The natural is looking more exposed. We'll see where Shin goes. We'll see where he heads. As Shin, he's about to max. He's about to max out. Again, he's on 3.5 base economy at this point. Oh, he was, I should say. Back to 66. Back to 3 base saturation. Shin is moving out. Trying to collapse on the main army. Zelda coming from behind. The Hydras are exposed. The Hydras, they are lacking upgrades here. They have no speed. Ooh, and Shin, he overextends for a moment. This is an expensive loss here. A lot of Hydra's going to be going down. No shot. Yeah, he moved out without Hydra speed. He cannot kite away. He cannot escape. And Shin, he will lose everything. Shin, he was in a commanding position here, but he lost his entire army. Oh, not like this. Now he starts Hydra speed. He was missing it. And again, without it, he couldn't kite. He could not kite away. Oh, no, that was an oversight. That was not intentional. So no Hydra speed, he lost everything, and herO can still win this game. I mean, herO's all in. herO, he's got to commit. It's all or nothing for herO. Roaches are trickling in. We have the Lurker Den finishing. And Shin, he got too excited, Papi. He got too excited. Oh, good. Yeah, with those L reinforcements, no shot herO. He'll break the main army. He'll push on through, force into an all-in. And again, Shin was in a commanding position, but he overextended. Did push out onto creep without any speed whatsoever. Also pre-maxing out, and also before any kind of lurker tech. And now suddenly, it's becoming that much closer. And by that, I mean, I think hero's on it. Like there's no instant zealots, right? Like, there's barely any roaches, there's no lurkers, there's no banelings. These zealots, they trade so efficiently, cashing out more hydras, and just buffering so well for these stalkers. We're running out of steam from both sides. Running out of units. The Archon tanking well. Archon tanking well, takes down the zealot. Trying to chase him back. Again, Shin is barely holding on. Yes, the kite back, Papi. Kite back. Shin cleans up the zealots. He's holding. One stalker left. And as Shin holds, as Shin is surviving, there we go. Lurkers are on the way. And a big shout to Cyan, Papi. Obrigado. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast. Hope you had a great ladder session, question mark. Hope you had a great time as we're getting on top of the lurkers. One lurker is denied. There's 2 lurkers left. They morph in. They morph in just in time. 0 detection. Oh, that's never mind. One of those lurkers does still fall. 1 lurker left. But Shin, he survives. GG. He barely survives, and Shin will take game number 1. Whew, GG. That was a very close hold though. Again, Shin, he was in a commanding position, I will say. Like, Shin, he broke the 3rd base, he broke the economy, he was in a better, he had the better economy, he had the better tech. But Shin, he pushed out before maxing out, he pushed out before lurker tech, and he pushed out without Hydra speed. He got caught with his pants down out in the open, and herO took the best fight he could have. That was like the stars aligned. That was the best fight he could have taken. That was the best chance for herO to recover in that game. And he almost won. He almost did it. Shin barely hung on there towards the end. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Shin takes game number 1, and now we're jumping into game number 2. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, yes, thank you so much, Cyan. Oh, Cyan. Gracias, papi, gracias. Obrigado. Hope you had a great time. Bom dia. Of course, we are going to be covering the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit. That is going to be, of course, tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the SC2 circuit for Brazil. We'll be covering that in English. Don't you worry. It's going to be, again, an intense weekend full of StarCraft. We'll do our best, Papi, do our best to cover as much of it as we can. But for now, we are jumping into game number 2 of this best of 3. We are jumping into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Twisted Minds down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is a herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing Weibo Gaming WBG. It is SHIN. Let us go. As again, SHIN does take a lead in the series. herO, he had a shaky early game last game, if you recall. herO, he was being a little bit too cavalier, a little bit too careless with his units, bleeding out oracles, bleeding out stalkers as well, being a little bit too inefficient with his army and being punished for it. Shout out to SHIN to punish herO as much as he could, recognizing some of the downsides, some of the weaknesses, some of the weak points in herO's defenses. And we'll see if herO can tighten up. We'll see if he can tighten things up here as we settle into our next game. Here we go. Max actually Showtime was a replay cast. Yes, some of these matches were played ahead of time just because I believe right now it's like 5 a.m. What time is it in Europe? Europe time. Sorry, 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Oh my god. So some of those were played out ahead of time, and they are being covered, or they are being covered here and now. Again, we do not know the outcome of said results. The admin of the event is organizing the lobby when it comes to that, when it comes to inviting us, when it comes to setting everything up. And we are bringing them to you here and now. Here we go. For the time being, Stargate opener once again. Stargate opener out of herO. Does open Stargate, just like the last game. But right now, we're looking to see our control here. We're looking to see if we can maintain the oracles this time. Remember, last game, 2 oracles went down ahead of time. It was disastrous for herO, and we'll see if we can bring it back and tighten things up. We shall see. As that does threaten a shade. Oh! Does threaten a shade towards the natural. Likewise, Queens are keeping up with the Adept. 1 Ling going down. Nothing major. Oracle's on the way. Now behind this, we're waiting to see our take-up choice. Do we go for a Twilight Council early on? Do we expand, get a 3rd base? Welcome one to Pylon. I should also emphasize that Incorporeal is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Pylon is a little bit more middle of the road. The rush distance by ground is very direct. I will say that it is very direct. Lings, they move out. They come in for the surround. And can they get the Adept? Oh, they cannot. Yeah, the Adept does survive. Lings had to pull away. The Adept does take a lot of hold damage, but does make it out alive. And now it's in position to expand. So from here, herO can expand. SHIN droning up back at home. Is saturating. And we're building up. Building up instead. Double Oracle across the map. Getting Revelation. Pulling away. Threatening the bases. Oh, going for the stasis. Double stasis even. Yeah, and with that SHIN, he has to pull back. Does bait out both stasis traps with 1 drone. Another stasis going off. This one once again will connect. Oh, getting 2 this time. Not bad. 2 drones getting caught. Mass Adept on the right hand side. Oh, Lings on their own are not going to be enough. Where are the Queens? I mean, the Queens are all busy with the Oracles, of course. They have to rotate back over. Drone's going to be going down. This is getting out of hand. This is getting far too much damage, more than it should have. 4, 5, 6 drones falling. Ay, ay, ay. 7 drones even. 7 drones going down. And behind this, what do we have? 3rd base is done. We have the Twilight Council finishing up. No Forge, by the way. Interesting. No Forge yet out of a herO. As we just go for the all-in. Yeah, we're going for a Ling Queen all-in. SHIN, he has taken critical damage. He's rallying everything across the map. No, I mean, I just don't know if he has enough momentum, I'll be honest. There's 2 shield batteries. 2 shield batteries are done. SHIN, yeah, SHIN, he cannot do it. He cannot break through. GG gets called. herO, he will hold, he will defend, and herO will tie things up 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO, he will tie things up. Again, SHIN, he was just being brutalized by the Adepts. His response was to commit to an all-in, was to just send it across the map. But alas, as we saw, he could not really do much across that map. Back at home, 2 shield batteries, plenty of Adepts. GG. GG, well played. herO all over SHIN in game number 2. And we'll see how this story ends. We'll see what happens in game 3. Let's go. We'll see if we are able to see SHIN cause an upset or herO claim another win. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss, the South Korean Protoss representing his new team, representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. Here we go. As you can see, when it comes to, I mean, not just this matchup, every matchup really, if you slip up in one aspect in one moment, that can be gamed then and there. There are certain key units like Adepts, for example, like Hellions, even Lings as well, where if they are left unchecked, they will wreak havoc, they will eviscerate an economy. We saw that last game with the Adepts. It was 6 Adepts moving out, and that is not an abnormal amount of Adepts. Going up to 6 is relatively standard. I would say 4 is a little bit more standard, but going up to 6 is not unheard of either. And again, we saw that SHIN was just caught with his pants down. He was not ready for it. He was caught out of position, and GG, well played. With that, we're now loading into Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the more defendable maps in the map pool, so this is known for more longer and macro play. So welcome one and all. Gate Expand out of herO, likewise Hatch Gas Pool out of SHIN. When it comes to how defendable this map is, unlike on other maps, you are much more secure on 4 bases. I don't know if you noticed on Pylon. On Pylon, you have your 3rd, you have your 4th base, they're a little bit more spread out, and you have a path in between and going straight to the natural. Here, full wall. Here we have rocks that are walling this area off. Likewise, a choke point here at the 3rd, also choke point at the 4th base as well, and these bases are closer together than on other maps, so it is easier to defend on 4 bases on Tokamak than on the other maps of the map pool, or most of the other maps of the map pool. Not all, but most. So you can secure yourself relatively easily here on your 4 bases, head towards a longer macro game. Likewise, Rushes to Spike Ground is longer as well on this map. But we'll see if we can get there. We'll see if we can get to that 3-4 base saturation. As both players have been hyper aggressive in their own ways. Remember, game 1 at SHIN, he went for a 3 base all-in off of 65 drones with a German taxi. Game 2 forced into, I would say, like a 2 base all-in with Ling Queen. And now, Stargate Opener. Stargate Opener out of herO. There we go. That's going to be zoned away. There's always a chance when you're forced to all in, when you took damage, there's almost always a win for Protoss with Infinite Energy Oracle. I mean, that's what the Queens are for. That's why it was a Ling Queen all in. There are ways to make that all in work, especially if you're able to bring it all together, but it was just a really rough position there for SHIN. Just because he had bled out so much already, just because it wasn't, I don't think it was actually set up like creep wise to push out across the map with his queen to either, so it was also just a little bit staggered when it comes to the execution of the all-in. It's just a messy scenario, messy situation. Like the problem with that response not being the initial plan and the initial build is like the creep was not already being actively aggressed on and pushed towards the third base to make it easier and faster for the queens to get across the map, for example. But now though, we have our third base, we have Forge and a Twilight Gun to follow up. It looks like +1 and Blink on the horizon behind this. Oh. Speaking of oracles, going for the queen. Oh. And they won't quite get it, almost. They don't get the drones either. But I spoke too soon. The third base is exposed. The queens, they get dragged out of position. No support. The third, 4 drones go down. And this time the oracles will escape. At the same time, Lings, they get across the map. The oracles are busy and 1 adept will fall. Gets 1 adept and looks like we'll barely get the second adept as well. Nice pickoffs across the map. Does force the oracles back home. Whew, okay. So 2 adepts for 4 drones. Not the worst trade here for SHIN. I would say this is acceptable for now, as long as it doesn't take too much more damage. As the oracle does move out once again, the queens this time are ready. Oh my god. Dishing out a lot of hull damage this time. SHIN in position. Baneliness on the way. Hello. Speaking of all in, speaking of aggression, are we going for a Bane bust here? 4th base for Larva, I'm assuming. We have 3 drones on the way, a couple of workers here, nothing too major. Second gas now being taken. We're taking up, never mind. Taking up into the lair. We'll keep an eye on SHIN to see if he makes another wave of Lings. I see he's moving out. Yeah. 12 more Lings. 12 more Lings on the way. SHIN, he is going for a Bane bust. Or at least he should be. We'll see if that's the case here. We'll see if he morphs in any Banelings. He just commits. He just commits. No shield battery. He will find some damage. Nice around. The oracles, where are they? Oracles are across the map. Meanwhile, stalkers are going to be going down. Oh my god. Stasis traps are popping up though. But he will kill every stalker here. Yeah, the stalkers all do fall. Zelts as well. And again, without the oracles to defend, this third base is vulnerable. Getting another zealot. The oracle will defend. And they did get a stasis off in the main, but last, still not quite worth it. I'm afraid to look, that was what, 5 stalkers? Yeah, 5 stalkers, 2 zealots, 3 probes. Very nice damage. And I don't know if you noticed, but SHIN, he is very, herO, he's very adverse to getting shield batteries. It happened in game 1 as well. If you notice, there was no shield battery at the third. Here, no safety shield battery either. Like, it's a very stylistic thing for herO, where he likes to cut corners. And, that is hurting him a little bit here. I mean, it's making this position that much weaker. The third base, I mean. It's that much more vulnerable. As herO is just trying to be as efficient as possible by preserving his resources, spending them elsewhere on army. This time does deflect. herO, he is looking to stabilize. SHIN across the map, getting his 4th. And taking up into Ling Hydra. But still investing quite heavily in these Lings. We have a Ling Force on the right and a Ling Force on the left. I'm still waiting for the Baneliness. Oh, sorry, for the Banelings to morph in. But now, catching an expansion, not bad. It gets a full surround. Does get the surround. And he will force a cancel. Whew. Just in time. Does force a cancel. SHIN pulls away. Did it cost 20? Jeez, that was 24 Lings. It's a lot of Lings. But that will slow herO down. Behind this, SHIN, he's not droning. SHIN, he droned up to 66. This is similar to the last game. Sorry, similar to game 1, where he does cut workers early on. He's investing into Hydra upgrades. Now the question becomes, does he ever drone this up, or are we doubling down with a 3-base all-in with Ling, Bane, Hydra? I think we know the answer to that. I think. Yes, he's just massing up and focusing on his army. Lings, once again, they do hit the 4th. Coming in for another cancel. And they should be able to. They barely will. There's another cancellation. Baneling's morphing in for a run by. Throughout all this, building up more Hydras, waiting for the upgrades, waiting for Hydra range. This time Hydra speed is ready. Ooh, and herO, does he notice? Oh no! The unit saw. He doesn't notice. Or does he? herO, he pulls back. He does pull back. Only for a moment. There we go. Stasis traps on the way. Setting up defensively. Bailey's rolling in, but I don't think they can avoid the stasis. Does catch him out. Storm is not ready. Lings, they flood in. The wall was there, but Bailey's nice moves there, going for the zealots, going for the main army. At the same time, main army does push in towards the third. Lings, they flood into the main, and High just push in towards that third base. Remember, no shield batteries, no side defense here at the third base. Probes are falling, going for Storm. Storm, it's gonna finish. Yes, Storm does barely complete in time. Bailey's rolling into the mineral line, massive connections. Yeah, probes are going down, takes on 32 probes, very nice damage. Does cripple the economy. But Shin, he will lose everything. He will lose the army in the main base. He did snipe the Temple Archives, which means he didn't deny Storm, but no more High Templar. No more High Templar, no more Archons. They're not going to be here to reinforce. And hero's all in. Hero, he's all in at this point. Hero, he's on a 2-base economy, 43 workers. Lings, they counterattack once again. But here comes Hero. And Shin, does he have enough at home to defend, to survive this? The queens are coming together. Hydras are trickling out. Oh, Claw Transfuse. On the expansion, they save it for a moment. Across the map, Lings, they take down the mineral line. 9 more probes going down. Shin is holding. Shin, he's holding on. Lings, they race back. They come in for the surround, the attempted surround. Oh my god, they force out a blink. Shin falling back. Forced to engage. He's forced to engage. Storm is coming in. There's one more storm left. There we go, the final storm. Does shut down some of the Hydras, but Zealots, they evaporate. And Shin has done it. Shin, he has done it. He breaks Hero. No more storms. 3 Zealots, 4 Stalkers. That's all he has left. It's not enough, Pappy. It's not enough. Shin, he does it. It was very messy. It was very messy, very back and forth. Hero is down to 38 workers. Again, no economy here at the 4th base. This was denied like 3 times. No economy. Likewise, his 3rd base is barely up and running either. Hero, you cannot warp in any additional High Templar. Templar Archives being rebuilt. And Shin just has to calm down and rebuild his 4th base. I mean, losing the 4th base will slow it down, for sure. He'll slow down here. And he likewise has no Hive. He has no Lurker Den. It's pure Ling Bane Hydra. He is vulnerable to storms. And High Templar warping in. Oh no! They are warping in. They force out, they bait out some storms. This base is not really too important. Shin trading against cannons. This is maybe a good thing for Hero, I would say. As he's building up some more time here to gather more energy for the storms. Base goes down. And can Hero make a stand? Does force back the army. War is being pulled away. Zealots, they do well for themselves. The lack of tech is my biggest concern. Like, if Shin wanted to, it doesn't feel good, but he could throw down a Lurker Den, throw down an Infestation Pit, and get a 5th base. But for now, Shin, he's hyper-fixated on building up his army. He wants to end the game. And he's close, right? He's close to ending the game. The problem, though, look at how many High Templar there are now. There's 6. 6 High Templar. That's a lot of storms. Against Ling Bane Hydra, an army that melts the storms, so the splits have to be on point. Like Shin, he has to try his best here to make sure he avoids the storms. High Templar moving in position. There's the first storm. Bailey's rolling in. Up! Oh my god. Okay. Bailey's are denied. Hero, calm down. 4th base gets surrounded. Shin collapsing from both angles, from both sides. Nice storm on the Bailings. First flank of Bailings gets shut down, but the last High Templar, they're going to be exposed, and then we do crash in. High Templar, they go down! Massive connections, and with that, Shin has done it. Shin, he breaks the back of Hero, takes down the High Templar, and he's done it. Now he has finally done it. Broken the back of Hero, pushing in. There are some reinforcements. Bailings, they crash into the workers. They crash into the warp-ins. At the same time, Jesus, we have 16 drones going down, but SHIN, GG gets called, and SHIN, he will take the series 2-1, taking down herO. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense game, very intense, very back and forth. Again, we saw both herO and SHIN with some strong moments here in this series, in this game. In the end, herO, he was kind of caught with his pants down a little bit. He had a really hard time expanding, getting his 4th base up and running. Likewise, losing the Temple Archives was a huge moment where herO could not reinforce with High Templar for a very, very long time. And again, SHIN went for an all-in. SHIN went for a big 3-base all-in, nothing but Lingbane Hydra on 66 workers. And last, herO, he was focusing on expanding and building up and fortifying his 4th base. Remember, where was all his side defense? At the 4th. The cannons, the shield batteries are all at the 4th base. The 3rd base was barren. The 3rd base there was nothing there outside of the army, of course, because herO wasn't expecting an all-in. He wasn't expecting SHIN to move everything across the map. So herO, he was vulnerable, he was exposed at his 3rd. And that's exactly where the fight occurred. So best case scenario. With that, GG well played. SHIN will claim the series, and now we are getting ready for our next matchup. We're getting ready for our next best of. Here we